The 420 level is finally lost, guys. You guys can see here on this daily chart that 420 level was a fib level. It was strong buy zone back in early October. And you know, these last few trading days, Monday, Tuesday, even last Friday, that zone kept defending as support. But today, that critical zone, 420 to the 420.5 zone, is finally lost. Man, Uncle Charters was saying I was bearish and that bears are in control when we lost that 1 year trend line. And after the loss of 420, it looks like bears are still resuming control after a couple of days. I mean, we look at Monday, that was the 5th down day in a row. From October 17th, it closed lower than October 16th, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down days in a row. Yesterday, Tuesday, finally put in some type of bounce, but did not clear that 425 level. In my last video, I mentioned to you guys, if we can clear that 425 level, maybe that will put a back test of the 1 year trend line in play. Bears just did their job in defending that zone. 424.5 to 425. You know, these levels aren't going to be perfect, aren't going to be pinpoint perfect, but overall, they stepped up where they needed to. And today, there was followed through, another loss of a critical fib level. But how did we trade it today? Let me tell you, the morning was a bit tricky, okay? Now, thank God I missed the morning. This morning, I was trading NVDA because one of my Discord members, 3501, shout out 3501, longtime supporter of Uncle Charters. He kept mentioning me, Uncle, you need to show NVDA some love. So this morning, I finally showed NVDA some love, and I'm so grateful because I missed out on this choppy action. But let's talk about the choppy action. We're definitely going to talk about NVDA later, so make sure you stay tuned for that. I'm going to give you guys some trade ideas for that as well. But as far as what happened on the SPY, I mentioned in the group that we had a support zone, 420.5 to the 420 level. The market started off breaking down 420.5 and then eventually breaking down 420. But unfortunately, it was only able to bounce as low as 419. If you were scalping this move in the morning, you might have been okay. But if you tried level to level, couldn't, because the market wanted to be tricky. Market makers, you know, they faked us out to the bottom. Then they try to recapture 420, even recapture 420.5, going as high as 421.43. That's a decent level style move, you know, $1.40 move. But overall, at the end, it was a dead cat bounce, and it led to a false breakout setup. So definitely not a perfect day. You know, it was definitely tricky in the morning, but the afternoon towards the end of the day was, you know, a lot nicer. You know, if you played the false breakout setup, you know, definitely paid well. This was alerted in the group as well in the Discord right here, 12 o'clock, 420 failed again, putting the lower targets in play. You know, I did mention, yeah, we got some trappy action, so protect those gains, but I try to tell people no calls again unless 420 recaptures. You know, sometimes the market want to play trappy action with us. Well, we got to stay true to the price action and keep following it. It's not a 100% accuracy. You know, I'd say it's about 60 to 70%, you know, but the minimum is 51%. With good risk management, you can be profitable in this market. You don't have to be 100%. But yeah, playing the false breakdown continues to do us well because we're playing with the trap. This false breakdown false breakdown of 420 led to a $1.40 move. And then the false breakout, it just dropped, going as low as 417, which was one of my support levels. All right. But yeah, that's how we traded today. There was all alerted in the group. Even when we lost 418 right here, you know, you miss one trade setup. If you missed that 420 breakdown, I had a support around 418.2, 418.5. That was alerted in the group as well. Wrote it right here. 418.2 failed, put in 417 in play first with 415.5. Unfortunately, we didn't get to 415.5. We did manage to get to 417, you know, level to level style before it bounced. Level to level was crucial. All right. So that's how we traded. We just played it level to level. I did manage to play the 420 breakdown. Yeah, this is when one of my members was asked me what position I was in, and I let them know that I was in the SPY puts on the breakdown of 420. It was pretty good. I actually held down to 417 this time. Yeah, it was a good trade. Amazing trade. Let's go back to the daily chart here. Overall, guys, the reason why I share how I trade with you guys is, educational purposes. We want to play the false breakouts, want to play those false breakdown setups. We want to get in the habit, instead of calling tops and bottoms, get in the habit of calling false breakouts and false breakdown setups. Those setups work really well if you play it with no greed, level to level style. $1.20 to $2 moves, leave runners, respect your stop loss. You do all that, you stick to the system, you're gonna do well, in my opinion. Okay. As far as the daily chart goes, like I said, we lost that 420 level. I cannot trust no bull case unless we can recapture lost levels, starting with 420. All right. If 420 recaptures, let's keep it simple here. 420 recaptures, I would look to long with 422, 423.5, and a back test of 425 back in play. If we can clear 425, you guys know it's been a strong selling pressure there. If we can clear 425, I'll favor more of a rally, maybe to back test the 1-year trend line. Above 425, 426.5, 428, 430. 430.5 is right around where my 1-year trend line is now. Okay? But the point is, it got to recapture 420 to be bullish. As long as below 420, I would stay bearish. 418.2 and 417 are support levels. 417 defended as support today. But if it does not defend and it fails below 417, sell off continues. Look to short below 417. 415.5, 414, 412, and 410 would be targets to the downside. All right, guys? Triple Q. Triple Q, okay? You guys see my blue bow flag here, okay? On the support line, we have a test there, test there, test there. That recent test, the third test, well, that's a fourth test technically. But that fourth test was on October 23, and it did lead to a bounce. All right, the low was 351, and it led to a bounce almost to 360. However, it could not clear that 360.3 fib level. Overall, dead cat bounce, and as you guys can see, it led back to the downside. Broke down at 354.7 level. I think I mentioned in the last video, you want to short below that level, and it worked out beautifully. And it's looking pretty bearish because, well, once again, that the support of that bull flag got tested, but this time we broke down. That's bearish. All right, next support is at 349 about 349. Okay, 349 fails, guys. We are dropping down lower, possibly down to 346.5 to 347 zone with 344.6 and 351.5 below that. That's the 1.5 fib level. Okay, so yeah, stay bearish below 351. It's testing it now. We got earnings from Meta probably bouncing it up, but you guys know how earning is. It's gonna change. A lot can happen with earning. But overall, below 351, the breakdown holds. Stay bearish. A loss of 349 would be bearish fall through. Okay, now we recaptured 351 though. 353 and 354.7 are back in play. A recapture of 354.7 would be a good victory for the bulls. All right, a good victory for the bulls. Put in 357.5. That's a gap fill in play with 359 and 360.3. If 360.3 is recaptured, potential bottom is in. We might go back and test the top of the bull flag, but we want to play it level to level. Okay, one level at a time. Above 360.3 puts 362, 363.7, and 365 in play. All right. IWM looking really bearish, breaking down my 165.6 7ish level, excuse me. Okay, as long as it stay below 165.7, I would stay bearish. Next support is at 163.4. If that fails, 162.5, 160, 158, and 155.5 are in play. Okay, can't get bullish unless 165.7 recaptures to put 167.4, 169, and 172 back in play. Tesla, not looking too good for the bulls. All right, even though we are in oversold territory, it's not, the price action is not bullish right now. Okay, guys, It's not clear in resistant levels. And that main resistant level that I need to see clear is 218.3, but we're a good amount below that now with this sell-off. Next critical support is at 211.4. If that fails tomorrow, guys, that'll be very bearish with 207.5, 204.5 and lower in play, okay? Is around 213 now as we speak. 214, 216, and 218.3 are resistant levels. All right. If we can clear 218.3, that's a fib level. That would be a pretty decent win for the bulls. Okay. That would put 220, 222. Let me see. That's about 225.3-ish and 227 in play. Okay. Apple. It's getting real close to testing that 200 daily moving average again, okay? If 170 is lost, I would be bearish on Apple with 167.6 and then the gap fill at 165.6 in play, okay? I can't get bullish unless we clear some resistant levels starting with 173 or 175, all right, guys? NVDA, what a beautiful, beautiful trade today. Holy moly. Had some trade ideas that I mentioned to the group. And it just worked out well. That's why I traded it. Shout out to 3501, my Discord member, for reminding me, man, gotta show some love to NVDA because it definitely was a really good stock to trade with all the beautiful volatility. All right. But overall, 61.8 fib levels at 418.4. I got some updated levels for us. Okay. It lost that fib level today. As long as below it, stay bearish. Look like it's dropping even more. Okay. It's around 412. So the next critical support level I got is at 410.7, 409.2. All right. Below 409.2, I would favor this pivot low right here, right around 406.3-ish. That's from August 11th. And this pivot low right around 403. All right. Below 403, that will put 401, 397.3-ish, and gap fill around 395 in play, okay? The only way I would get bullish at this point is if it recaptures 418.4, recapture that fib level, false breakdown setup, whatever you want to call it. That will put higher targets in play. 420. What's next? What else? This is pivot high right here. 424.7. Ooh, did I miss one? Oh, I missed one. Got this one around 423.4-ish. All right. Now above that 427.4, 430, 432.7-ish. We can round that to 433 and 434.5 with 436.5 above that. And then there's a big gap fill around 439.5. Okay, please add these levels to your charts. If you have to rewatch the video, that's a mouthful. All right. Sometimes Uncle Charters get tongue twisted and then people make fun of me in the comment section. All right. So that's the plan for NVDA. Stay bearish on it below 418.4. I would get bullish on it above 418.4. Okay. That's the equilibrium level. Okay. Google is nasty because, earnings. What was there? They did well on earnings, I guess. Green. Doesn't matter. Maybe we missed something. Got to do a little more due diligence on the earnings report to see what happened. But I tell you this, price action is that obviously, not bullish. Lost a lot of levels. Right now, the 78.6 fib level is at 126.6. That level was lost today. If it can recapture 128, 126.5 would be back in play with 131 and 138.2 0.8 above that, 132.8 above that, okay? Now, if it stays below 126.6, that is bearish, guys, and that keeps 124.3 in play. If that level fails, 122.6, 121, and 119 would be in play, all right, guys? AMD also had its own sell-off, finally broke down that 99.5 level and closed around my support level of 96, all right? Currently trying to gap below 96, all right? Next support is at 94, and then my trend line here at 91. Yeah, 91. All right, 94, 91. Bulls need to step up at that 91 support level. We're going to lose this trend line. This trend line came all the way back from last year. 1 year trend line here at 91. Critical level. If it hits 91 and then maybe it recaptures a loss level like 94, 96, maybe I'll look to long false breakdown setup, something like that. All right. But overall, below 96 is bearish. Bulls don't want to see no higher than 99.5. That was the breakdown that triggered today's sell-off. So if it recaptured 99.5, that'll be, a good, decent win for the Bulls, putting 101.5, 103, 105, and 107-ish back in play. All right, guys. Meta had earnings. It can't figure out what it wants to do. This is like big swings to the downside. You see why I don't trade earnings? I'd rather wait. I'll trade before earnings or I'll trade after earnings. But if you plan on trading after earnings, that's a good idea. That's what I plan to do tomorrow. But we're going to need to know the levels, okay? I don't know where Meta's going to open tomorrow, but just the levels I give you, add them to your charts. Watch where Meta opens tomorrow and then react unbiasedly using the levels, okay? Resistant is at 306.4. That's a 61.8 fib level that I got here. Let me go to the daily chart. Yes, 306.4. If that can clear, that will put 303 back in play. And if 303 clears, 311. Gap fill at 312.5 would be in play with 315, 318, and 321 above that, okay? Overall, it needs to break above 306.4 and 309 to be bullish. To be bearish, it wants to keep below 306.5, 0.4. That's a fib level. 306.4, all right? And between that level or below that level, as far as support level goes, I got 305, 303, 301.5, and 300, okay? 300 is the 50% fib level. Also had a white trend line here. White trend line here that we broke out. Now, end of day close was a close below it. Technically, based on the daily chart, that's a false breakout setup. But as you guys can see with earnings, it's going crazy right now. One thing I will say, though, below 300, that false breakout setup stays intact. That's very bearish. So below 300 would be very bearish on Meta with 298, 296.5, and 294 as targets. Okay? Above 306.4 and 309 bullish. Below it, kind of bearish, guys, especially below 300. Okay? Now let's go to the dark pool. 1.1 billion in premium at the 423.6 level. That's kind of where the high of the pre-market was today, actually, around there. And then SPY just gapped down and just pushed down. But definitely watch that level, 423.6, 10 cent off of my 23.5 level. But you can label that a dark pool level. Okay, that's where the big money are giving us some activity. All right, SPY, filter for 500K premiums or above. It is bearish. Triple Q, it is bearish. IWM, it is bearish. Tesla, holy moly, it's bearish. Apple is 50-50. NVDA is a little bullish. Nothing for GOOG. GOOG with the L is bullish though. AMD, nothing. And Meta. Hey, it's bearish for Meta. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely want more content from Uncle Charlie. Definitely consider joining my Discord. Other than that, have a great evening. Peace.